that we know already about the next BMW M3. It'll have a 6-cylinder turbo engine with around 450 bhp and 480 pounds-feet of torque. It'll also be stiffer and lighter than the car it replaces and made from all sorts of exotic materials, such as carbon fibre and lightweight aluminium. But the big question will be, will it have that same je ne sais quoi to its steering and chassis that made this car so special? Or this car, perhaps the most desirable M3 of them all? That's what we went to Brands Hatch to find out. It might not arrive until 2014, but between now and then, all we can do is speculate about how good, or otherwise, the new M3 might be. But if it's even half as soulful as this, the original E30, BMW will have done its job and done it well. You can feel the purity of engineering in the E30 from the moment you climb aboard, and its steering and handling in particular are still absolutely out of this world. It just feels so alive beneath your hands and backside, this car, and although it's no longer all that quick beside the others, it's still utterly beguiling to drive. If nothing else, it proves that to have fun and to feel good behind the wheel of an M3, you don't need to be going that fast. The new car really could learn a thing or two from that. The V8 is at the exact opposite end of the spectrum compared with the E30. Its steering might lack a bit of feel beside the old-timer, and its handling isn't anywhere near as delicate or intimate, but on a track, or on any road frankly, it's just outrageously quick. The V8 engine delivers a massive hit of performance once you work it beyond 4,000 RPM, and the dual clutch gearbox works beautifully with it, even if it does add a few unwanted kilograms. It's a bit of a hot rod, to be honest, the V8 M3. And, of course, it'll do this kind of thing all day long if you've got the space and the tyre budget to match. But it's also heavy. A bit too heavy for a car like this, quite frankly. So if BMW can learn anything from the V8 when making the next M3, it's to lose some of that weight. Just as they did when they came up with the CSL.
I remember when the CSL came out, I could not believe how perfect it looked. How muscular and potent and just absolutely right for an M3 it looked. And when I drove one, this is way back in 2003, it didn't really disappoint. The only thing that was unfantastic, ungreat about this car was the gearbox. They gave it this silly SMG, which is just rubbish, quite frankly. But if it had had a manual gearbox, which of course it did in the States, oh man, this really would have been absolutely the perfect M3. It's properly fast. The steering is not as nice as the steering in the E30. Let's get that straight right from the word go. But what this car has and what the E30 had was this lovely feel from the rear axle. You could just lean on it and you know exactly where the tail is. You know exactly how much slip there is, how sideways you're going, and you can just muck about with this car to your heart's content. However, this is the car that BMW need to learn the most lessons from, I think. Because if they can make a modern interpretation of this car with a stonkingly torquey turbocharged engine in it, and hopefully a car that doesn't weigh that much more than this one weighed just under 1,400 kilograms. If they can get it under 1,600 kilograms, I think they're doing really well. And if they do, the results could be pretty spectacular. But if they can better the CSL, wow, that will be job done really well.